Welcome back to the Phonetic Evolver Devlog. This is episode 5. It's Wednesday, which means what I'm going to work on today is to make root word lists be able to be deleted. So this button up here is going to delete an entire root word list, not just one row in the root word list, but the whole thing. It's going to be a bit tricky, but hopefully I'll be able to do it. The reason why I say it's going to be tricky is I can't just make the root word list tabs be deleted the same way I made the sound change tabs get deleted. The reason why I can't just close the root word list tab like I do by the sound changes and leave it like that is because when I create the root word list tabs, when the program opens initially, I save the tab in a list. Then when I save the whole Phonetic Evolver project, I go through each item in the list and save all of the contents. So now when I remove the tab, I'm also going to have to remove it from this list, or I'm going to have to redesign it in a way that is easier to deal with. So I think I'll go with the second option so that it's much easier to deal with. That's always the better option. Catch you when I'm done. Alright, so that was a lot of work, but now you can delete root word list. So if I click on delete, it actually gets deleted in the background too. And now I also added that the rename button works properly, so it doesn't just allow you to rename it to whatever you want. It checks for duplicates so that you can't name two root word lists the exact same, and you can't give it an empty name. So if I just say give it, it's going to give me an error that nope, can't do that. And so let's say I could rename it as and now I can go and close it up so that it saves. And now I reopened it, and here you can see only as is here. The other word list is not here. It's Thursday, it's beautiful outside, it's sunny, so I'm going to continue working on Phonetic Evolver now. What I'm going to work on now is I'm going to work on the word bank tab. The way that it's going to work is that in the tree, you're going to select a node, and then when you open the node, it's going to show you in the word bank all of the words in that node and how the word looked like in the root word list, the definition of the word, and the generation that it was coined. And there will also be a button next to it that's going to show you the path that the word took since its inception up until this generation, the whole path it took, so all the generations it went through. There's going to be a pop-up from a button on the side. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to actually making this feature. Alright, I just finished implementing the basic feature set of the word bank. So now, as you can see, if I open up a node and go to the word bank tab, you'll see that currently it only shows you the words that were coined in the generation that you click on. But that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to show you all the inherited words too. What I'm going to make it do for now is that when you click on the run button, it'll show the inherited words too. Eventually though, it will show all the words without you having to press the run button each time. But anyway, I'm gonna work on that tomorrow since it's already midnight now. It's Sunday. I've been hard at work the last 2 days getting the run button to work, to almost work, but I did get it to basically work, so here's what it looks like. Once you click on it, it will confirm whether you actually want to begin this process because it may take a long time. So if I confirm, it will start the process, and you can see here that it's going. And once it finished, you can see that it updated all of the entries with all of the new words after the sound changes. Right now, the path column shows you the path that the word took to get to the current generation in text form. But in the future, there will be a button that will enable you to see a visual almost tree of the single branch that it took to reach the current generation. If you remember, when you make a new word in the root word list, it doesn't automatically go into the first generation of a language family. You get to pick which generation it shows up in. So I decided to add a tab in each generation called Coinages, where you can directly see and edit the words that should be added in that generation. Besides for this change, I also decided to add a Global Coinage List tab, where you can see a list of all words organized by when they were coined. Because of this, the root word list needed to be changed. First of all, if words can show up in any generation, why call it a root word list? And also, since you can add words directly into each generation and get a list of them in the Coinage List tab, the only thing that's left for the root word list is to group the words that appear in the entirety of the tree into groups, so you can group for yourself words based on whatever you want, like which language family they belong in. This is why I decided to rename it to lexicons. Lastly, I decided to also add a global word bank tab to be able to see a single list of all the words from each generation with their path and everything else the word bank has. Then I thought to put all these new tabs in one place, so I renamed the word bank tab to Glossary, since it's a list of words with their definitions, and I named the new super tab with all the tabs in it as word bank. It's Friday now, which is over a week since my last update, but anyway, I've been hard at work getting this to work, so here's my results. So you can see that there's now the 3 tabs over here. There's sound changes, glossary, and coinages. All of them fill up with the correct information. And I also did a lot of work in the word bank. So I added the coinage list, which has the coinages of all the generations in the generation that they were coined in. So you could see these 4 words are going to get coined in G1. Root gets filium and octo, and 1.5 gets greps, etc. And I removed the lexicon because it created a huge overhead in programming time and effort, which I didn't have patience for, since the root word list / lexicon is useless anyway, since all it does is group words by language families, and you can see all of the words as they appear in every language in the glossary or in the coinage list, depending on what you're looking for. So it's really just an extra overhead for me to work with, and I don't have patience to work on tons of other features that are not useful for anybody. While the Coinages tab mainly works, like if I go to here, I go that's, here you can see in G1, it's that. I go here, I press check to confirm my changes. Now you can see in the word bank that it's that. And let's say if I want to get rid of it, I can press the delete button. You can see that it deleted the wrong thing. So that is something I have to work on. And also, if I add a word, so let's say I add new, and I press check, you'll see it added 2 of them. And in home, it only added 1, which is good, but over here it added 2. So that is also something I need to fix, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. A big thing that I worked on, that I actually did get working, for the most part at least, is the save button is now way faster, and it works much better now. So before, the way I was saving is I had the PEF file really be a zip file, and in the zip file I would have directories, and in each directory I had bunch of files, each representing their own thing, but this was hard to deal with and it was really annoying to manage. So I switched over to now using a JSON file, which, as you can see here, is much neater because now I have everything in one file, and when I parse it, everything is right there where I need it, neatly organized in their own little sections. This makes reading from the save file, i.e. opening the program and saving to the file, a lot quicker because there's a lot less read-write functions that need to be called. I can read the file at one go, and then I have everything in RAM, which I can then deal with there. Because I made a lot of changes in the past 2 weeks, including huge changes like changing how the save feature works from the ground up, and the word bank tab is now totally different, a lot of bad side effects have been introduced into the program. So over the next week or so, I'm gonna have to go around, hunt them down, and destroy them all. So that's not gonna be a lot of fun, but that's what you have to do when you make a program. So see you when I'm done.